Off the falls, yeah. Looking back, it was like uber crazy.
I guess technically you're not supposed to.
No,
I don't know. It's not
no,
very well posted.
no,
Yeah.
no. But this was in the 70s, mid 70s. We would go up there on women's notice, just
Okay.
Yeah.
Council, everyone's ready?
take the plunge.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, you good to go?
Yep.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the pre-council meeting for March 24th. Tonight, we're going to start off with a public hearing on the Comprehensive Annual Performance and Evaluation Report, the CAPER. So I'll call this meeting to order.
Okay, thank you. So the City of Lebanon is an entitlement community that receives funds from the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, to invest in local solutions to addressing housing and community development needs. The city receives funding from HUD exclusively through the Community Development Block Grant Program. The primary objective of the CDBG program is to develop viable communities through the provisions of decent housing, suitable living conditions, and expanded economic opportunities. In fiscal year 2021, the City of Lebanon completed its second year out of the 5-year consolidated plan, which outlines specific goals and objectives aimed at addressing various identified housing and community development needs in the City of Lebanon for fiscal year 2020 through 2024. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the city continued to work through many obstacles and did not get to complete all of our anticipated goals for fiscal year 2021 when the annual action plan was prepared. However, we did create and continue to address goals that we created due to the pandemic. So in fiscal year 2021, the city received $674,925 in CDBG entitlement grant funding and $47,611.54 in program income. The following activities have been completed in 2021 and will continue to be completed with 2021 funding in 2022. Crime prevention, administration, code enforcement, emergency housing rehab program, and our first-time homebuyer program, street improvements, and water main improvements. Additionally, the city had received 2 rounds of CDBG funding for the CARES Act in fiscal year 2020. The city received $391,481 in round 1, which assisted 70 businesses in 2021 and additional 17 businesses in 2020 it served 70 businesses and then an additional 17 last year. There is still a remaining $40,000 to be dispersed to eligible Lebanon City businesses that did not already receive funding. The city also received an additional $206,891 in CDBG CV Round 3 funding that will be used in fiscal year 2022 to address homelessness needs in the community to prevent, prepare, and respond to COVID-19. The city prepared the fiscal year 2021 Comprehensive Annual Performance and Evaluation Report that outlines in detail all the goals and accomplishments I mentioned for fiscal year 2021 in comparison to the 5-year goals set forth in the comprehensive plan. The CAPER was posted on the city's website, Facebook, and placed on the front desk in room 218 for viewers. Today is the last day to take comments on the report, and the city will be submitting the CAPER to HUD no later than March 31st. So at this time, I will take public comments and questions.
Okay, thank you, Janelle. And did you have much foot traffic to view the CAPER? Any?
I don't know about any.
Okay. But you think now that we're on the other side of COVID, we think should be looking better
Yeah,
moving forward?
so one of the delays is, so we got our entitlement amount, and then they had to make changes to the amount, which we already get our entitlement amount basically at the end of the calendar year. So we got 2021's money in October of 2021, and it's supposed to be used in 2021. So the additional delay prevented us from being able to do all of our requirements for environmentals, getting the projects bid out in time. So basically, we're using prior year fundings each year. So that's just one example. There was several things that, because of not being able to meet in the beginning of the year in person, we still were virtual, certain things like that, and then also delays with getting material for certain things, certain projects. So yeah, we should hopefully this year be in good shape.
Great. Any other questions from council? And I'll open it up to anyone in attendance this evening. And the mayor, no questions. Janelle, thank you so much for that yearly presentation. And with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn this special meeting.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, this meeting is adjourned. All right, and moving right into pre-council for Monday, the assignment of the prayer. Richard,
Okay.
you will have the prayer.
All right.
Everyone should have received the minutes. Please take a look at the minutes for Be Ready Monday if you have any issues or concerns with the minutes from February 28th. You also have the budget report from January 1st to February 28th. And Mayor, if you could bring us up to date.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So with more than 16% of the budget year completed, revenues are performing at 14.5%. Our real estate tax revenues, again, they're only billed in March, and that is our largest revenue source. So the first couple of months, our revenue numbers will be skewed. Expenditures are at 10.5% and are performing better than budgeted. So we are in good shape right now.
I don't know, they paged me, but I don't understand why.
Okay, and that's it, Mayor. Any questions from council? And any questions from anyone in attendance this evening? Okay, moving on, we have one communication on Monday for the mayor informing council of the appointment of recycling coordinator Jessica Caruso and Robin Getz as representative and alternate representative, respectively, to the Greater Lebanon Refuge Authority, effective February 24th. And Mayor, if you could give us just a little background.
So a little background would be that the Refuge Authority is an authority created to manage and properly dispose of the solid waste in our county. And to do that in such a way that protects the health and safety of the public, the workers, and our environment. And the authority, of course, also includes recycling appropriate materials from our waste stream. And each municipality in our county has one representative on the Greater Lebanon Refuge Authority Board. The authority itself was created in 1959 under the guidance of the Regional Planning Commission, which later became known and referred to as the Lebanon County Planning Department. So they've been around for quite some time, and they, of course, manage the landfill and, again, handle our waste stream and recycling, the diversion of that from the waste stream. So Jessica is our recycling coordinator, and that is a part of her job description, is to sit on this board. Robin was filling in for a period of time when we didn't have a recycling coordinator, and has a lot of expertise that the board of the Refuge Authority would like to retain, so they asked if she could be an alternate.
Okay. Thank you, Robin. Any questions from council? And from anyone in attendance? Okay. Moving forward, the first resolution we have is recording a deep sense of loss for the death of Richard A. Bleistein, who was a former member of City Council. And we are going to have family members here in attendance on Monday, so we'll do that reading and present each of them with that resolution. And who would like to take that resolution? I can go ahead and actually, I'll take that. The second resolution to the Commissioners of Lebanon County requesting $25,477 in financial aid for the improvement of city streets, authorizing the proper officials to execute an application for the same. And this is paving of Walton Street from Lincoln Avenue to 7th Street. And Mayor, maybe a little background?
Sure. This is something that we do annually. The commissioners receive an allotment from the state that gets divvied out to the locals, and it's always been based on the census, your population, according to the latest 10-year census. This figure actually is from the 2010 census. I'm not sure at what point they'll switch over to the 2020 census figure, but it would represent an increase for us, and I'm sure for probably most of the municipalities in the county. Our 2020 census population is 26,814. But again, sometimes we use this allotment to repair sinkholes or potholes, but this particular year we're using it specifically for Walton Street, and we're hoping that the bid comes in that we're able to cover from Lincoln Avenue to 7th Street. There are a couple of really nasty blocks on Walton Street, so a lot of people do use Walton Street. So that is what we're proposing. For the year, we're of course moving forward with our large partnership with PennDOT and the feds to do 10th Street, and then the following year will be 9th, and then Cumberland, and that will finish up 422 and 72 in the city. We're also looking to do with our CDBG funding. We had started Lehman Street on the west end of the city line and got to 7th Street, and would like to continue it as far as we can with our allotment of CDBG funding. And our goal is to hopefully use some American Rescue Fund money and do Maple Street, finish Lehman Street if we can't do that with CDBG funding. And that way, over the next approximately 2 years, we'll have 422, 72, Lehman, Maple. We want to take a look at 8th Street to see what are some bad areas on 8th Street and 12th Street. So then, till we're done, we'll have all what we consider major streets freshly paved, or mostly freshly paved, because portions of 8th Street haven't been that long ago that they were paved. But they should be in really good shape, and then we can, in future years, start concentrating on some of the other minor streets. So that's what our plan is, our plan of attack.
So lots of paving this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
In the next couple of years, yeah.
Okay. And who would like to take that resolution?
I'll take that one.
Thank you, Richard. And any questions from council?
Mayor, when you say minor streets, would that include alleys possibly?
We're probably looking at, when I say minor street, like 7th, and I'm not saying that one would be done, but I'm just like 7th or 6th or 5th, or Pershing, or, they're more neighborhood streets, community streets, rather than streets that are like a major thoroughfare like 72, 422 Maple that are more regional, taking traffic in a regional direction.
So less than the major streets, but more than, bigger
But
than alleys?
we do some paving and a lot of more repairs to our alleys or narrow streets. But hopefully the goal is, if we can get these larger streets done, then maybe we would have a little bit more money to start doing more of the narrow streets.
Not to get off topic, slightly on topic, as you probably know that there's a contractor putting gas lines in the southeast part of the city right now, Pershing Avenue.
It's a mess.
Are they responsible for repaving the streets once the mains
So-
are done?
So we do have criteria. I would say, well, when Gordon Kirk-Kessner was the Public Works Director, I put in a new policy in effect that if they disturbed, and I don't have it in front of me, so I apologize, but if they're disturbing more than a certain percentage of the street width, or running their lines where the main is, say, on one side of the street, and they're running a lot of laterals across to the other side of the street, then we're making them pave the entire width of the street. That's what we asked them to do, so that's hopefully what they'll do.
Okay, all right, one more thing then, are they contractually bound to do that, or is that just a request on our part that they can decline to accommodate?
Well, hopefully if the permit's issued, it's issued with those conditions of what our policy had set forth, which would have been prior to 2014.
Okay, that's all.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay. Moving on, we have 5 other resolutions here, all for disposition of various documents from Department of Administration, Finance Office, Police Department, Department of Public Safety, and Department of Public Works. And Mayor, I don't know that there's anything really to talk about here, just in,
I mean, I
with the
can
move
just-
and,
I can just quickly summarize like some.
okay?
So mainly in the Department of Administration, it's mostly administrative files where it's like correspondence and not actual audits, but maybe paperwork that goes with the audit and things like that. And then also regarding Coleman Park, it's all of the operational documents for the pool from 2017 and prior. And in finance, we're looking at like paid fuel invoices, bad check letters, our home drawdown copies, canceled checks, paid liens and notes, payroll registers, journal entries, and things like that. In the police department, it's parking citations from 2016 and older, incident reports, traffic and non-traffic citations, paid parking tickets, fingerprint cards, training pamphlets, civil service information. In public safety, it's our residential rental unit applications from 2018 and older, and the door hangers that we had placed on doors regarding violation notices from 2018 and older. And in public works, it's the sale of some city vehicles, demolition that was conducted at the East End Playground, road salt bids and contracts, snow reports, but a lot of bids. Most of it is bids for like curb and sidewalk work, petroleum products, road stone, road salt, or rock salt. A lot of these things we buy off a state contract now and we don't bid out because it's already pre-bid through the state contract.
Okay. And who are we using to shred this?
It's called,
It is shredded, okay. Okay, all right. Thank you, Mayor.
You're
Any
welcome.
questions from council? And from anyone in attendance?
Pretty sure, I know this is just the ongoing destruction of records and anticipation of the move downtown.
yes.
Okay, thank you. And I'll go ahead and take the first resolution. Who would like to take the second?
I'll take finance.
All right, Chris, thanks. And police?
I'll take it.
All right, Karen, thank you. And Department of Public Safety? Okay, Brian? And I'll go ahead and take the last one. Okay, and that is our official agenda for Monday evening. At this time, we'll open it up to council for any issues or concerns.
I just have a quick question. I think I know the answer to this, but Act 428 does prevent us from just giving a blanket authorization for the disposition of records, like, moving forward, correct?
Well, Cheryl, I mean,
We adopted a resolution following the standards, and
Okay.
that's part of it, that
Okay,
we
thank
do
you.
resolution each time. Hopefully, we'll be organized and do it annually now, and just
Sounds good to
clean
me.
out each January.
We'll do this one time? Okay, I'm going to hold you to that, Cheryl. Any other issues or concerns? Chief, one item I had someone brought to my attention today. They had, I don't know if it was in one of the news reports, the four-wheelers. I guess, I don't know if that was in West Lebanon, that they had an actual, the four-wheelers they hit someone.
Oh.
Do you know, and I know this was not in the city, thank God, but do you know if there's been any closure to that, or?
The
Like,
last
you know-
I heard, according to the chief, there wasn't closure.
Okay, all right, I was just, a few people have said to me they've seen them, of course, in the city as well, so, and I know that that's something the department's addressing as,
Right,
as
so
best
we
you
don't-
can.
Yeah, so we don't know where they're coming from. We know that they come through the city, but we actually believe that they might be in North Lebanon Township.
Okay. All right, thanks, Chief. All right. And at this time, any questions from, yes, Alisher?
Is there any update as to preparations for the municipal building? Is it still on track?
Yes, it's still on track for our move the first week of May. We're still finalizing the details of that. We will probably, for approximately 1 week in time, be closed to the public. We'll still be operating and conducting work, but we just probably, that very first week, we'll be closed to the public. And we'll answer phones and we'll still be working, but until we get things somewhat put in place and organized, we're giving ourselves a little bit of time. And then we'll be planning a ribbon cutting grand opening ceremony at some point, but we're probably going to do that a couple weeks later. We had to do some recent change orders, and I just want to feel more comfortable that everything's going to be done so that when we showcase City Hall, everything is completed and ready to go.
So April will be our last council meeting in this
Yes.
building,
Yes,
pre-council and council.
yes.
Okay. Noted.
Question, has the city contracted with a moving company to get all this
So-
stuff, or how's that gonna be handled?
So we originally had obtained quotes. We ended up getting quotes from 2 different companies, and Melissa and Janelle just really like to move. And they actually, in their spare time, have decided to move some of the things, including shelving and boxes. And so they've been doing some of the things that are,
Just doing some of the storage rooms that we can move
Yeah.
ahead of time, so we've just been doing that. But we
Yeah.
are using
but all of the furniture, like this furniture, there'll be a public auction. And so we're not taking, we may take a couple pieces, but we purchased furniture from Hack that had been in the existing office areas. And then we also purchased some new furniture in office areas that we created that used to be classrooms. So we don't need to take these old antiquated furniture with us. So all of this will be sold, but all of the, there are some, like, in the storage rooms, we can put old filing cabinets in there. So a lot of old filing cabinets will be, of course, taken with us, and all of the files. And those are some of the things that the girls have been moving.
So will there be a commercial moving service doing anything for the city? in
Yes.
connection with the move?
Yes,
You said
so-
2 bids, I think you said.
VIP, I couldn't think of it.
VIP,
Yeah.
okay.
We'll be doing all the flat map cabinets that are extremely large and
Yeah,
heavy,
yeah.
and some of the larger filing cabinets.
But we did budget money to move it via a commercial business. But like I said, a lot of the storage, Janelle and Melissa have done that. The chief, again, we put money in the budget for a commercial hauler, but because of some of the sensitivity of the records, the chief feels more comfortable if he's more involved with that. So he's going to be making some arrangements to escort those records and evidence and things like that. And our the IT actually will be the first part of the move. The IT portion will happen first. And our servers will be escorted by the police department. It will be, full security to the new building, put into place. And then, we'll finish with the personal offices and things like that. Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's all.
Nobody said anything about a parade.
Why not? Have a
All
parade.
right. Any other questions? All right, we'll see everyone Monday. Thank you.
Thank you.